Okay, well, we saw a rough drive by the Commanders defense, which we've seen a lot of this season, but this was rough for a different reason. So you see, it looks like it starts off on this play. So Amon-Ra St. Brown is blocking number 20 here for Washington. That's Quan Martin, and watch what Quan Martin is going to do. So this play is kind of wrapping up right now, but it's not over. You can still, play aggressively if you want to. And Martin is going to really just shove Amon-Ra St. Brown back, and then kind of shoves him even while they're on the ground. So the camera cuts away. We don't see what happens after that. The commentators mentioned that there is some pushing and shoving after that, but we don't see exactly what gets Washington upset in this scenario. Because as of right here, it seems like there's not really anything to be upset about if you're Washington, but there is if you're Detroit. If I had to guess, Amon-Ra St. Brown probably pushed someone back or something, and he's a physical player, not a dirty player, but a physical player, and so I can see maybe something happening there. But then we got to go over here, because this is where Washington just gets, they definitely kind of lose their minds a little bit right here. So first it's going to be Javon Kinlaw. Watch as he's going to get kind of fooled on the dummy count, the snap count, and he's going to kind of, I don't know what you call this, applaud in Goff's face. I don't get why that's not taunting, right? Like, the taunting rules are stupid, but it feels like we call everything taunting. How is that not taunting here? Anyway, the Lions scored a touchdown, and then after the touchdown, so again, I'm assuming for some reason, Washington's upset at St. Brown. We never saw exactly why, but because they're upset at him, this is just ridiculous. So Daron Payne, this is well after the play is over. He just sucker punches Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, that's just that's ridiculous. That not only is that getting him ejected, I think the NFL might suspend him for that. We'll see. So, he did since he got ejected, they might just view that as punishment enough. But I think you could justify a suspension on top of it, because that's essentially what happened with the Brian Branch thing, right? Granted, that game was already over, whereas this was kind of, when the play is dead, but, you got an ejection here, so do they kind of view that as equal? I don't know. But so then, okay, the Lions are going to go for two, because it's now, you have that penalty makes it for, you only have to try and convert 1 yard instead of 2, so math-wise, it makes sense to go for 2. The Detroit Lions on this play are going to just simply hand it off. They get the touchdown, or conversion, I should say, and then while they are celebrating, Kinlaw gets into it with Amon-Ra St. Brown again. He walks over towards St. Brown to say something. Again, I don't know exactly what. But you see, so an official, Goff is stepping in. You have other players stepping in. An official just kind of getting in the way to just try and cool things down, right? Try and separate everybody. So the official has his hand on Kinlaw's chest area, and Kinlaw just swipes it away. You can't do that. That's an automatic ejection, and even gets in the official's face. So, I mean, again, Washington, game's not going their way. They're getting frustrated, but they're also melting down out there. Multiple ejections, multiple penalties, and the Detroit Lions, I don't know. Game's going maybe on the field the way you would have expected this game to go, but still, you got to control what you can control, and they can't control their temper right now.